Some attention for the hair, please. Can you see what we created? I'm so proud. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. It's been a while, but at this point I feel like it's just always been a while in recent times. But anyway, compliments of the season, and let's get right into the video. So partitioning the hair right now, I first divided it into 4 parts. So that was the center you just saw, and then I'm also going to be dividing the back because we're going to make the back first before going to the front, just like the same way you make the shuku hairstyle, that you start from the back. So at this point the parting comb was tickling her, so I just had to stop there and then made do with what I had. These are the hair extensions I used, Darling in Teal and Lush in black or color one. I can't remember how they label those things. And just getting right into the plating. So I don't intend to really explain how I did the whole feeding braids for in this video, because the focus for this tutorial is really on the bun parts, like how I packed the Patewo bun thingy at the back of the hair. But I tried my best to also make the plating as detailed as possible, so you'd see a lot of clips where I braided the hair, did the feeding braids thing. So you can just take so you can just take 1 or 2 things from the video while watching it. So yeah, for the color of this hair, I think at this point you guys should already grasp that I'm not the one color in the hair kind of girly. Even my model for this hairstyle wanted just black in her hair, but I'm like, nah, we can't just use black. It's the season to be merry, it's the season for celebration. We need to add a little bit of highlights. And then I went to my repository and saw that teal, and I'd never used it before, and I'm like, okay, let's try it out, but just it will be quite minimal. And it was so lovely. Everybody loved how it turned out at the end of the day, and I was also glad I tried that, because I mean, why would you use only one color? It's now black. Of all single colors to use in your hair is black. That's too boring. And for a little girl, nah, that shouldn't just be it. Okay, so quick question, would you guys have preferred if I made this video in 2 parts? Because when I was done editing and I kept looking at the video and I'm like, what else can I cut out? There was nothing else, and then I considered making it into 2 parts, but I'm also like, please let me just upload this thing once and for all and get it over and done with, because I know myself, something will just happen somewhere, and then I would see that maybe 1 month has gone, I've not uploaded part 2. Meanwhile the video just sitting there, because I'm just somebody that I just feel like it's never perfect enough. So I like to go back and look at it and look at it and look at it. Oh, what else can I add? This, that, and I'm like, I said, well, let me just post everything at once. So let me know, would you have preferred the video in 2 parts, or just this one long stretch of maybe 17 minutes long video? So let me know in the comments. So I used cotton 3, like I divided the hair into 3 parts. That's the length I'm working with here. And before I made this hairstyle here, I came online and said, because this is the first time I'm trying out something like this. I know I've been seeing it online so many times, and I've been meaning to try it on myself as well, but no, I don't think I can achieve this on my own head. But yeah, I've been meaning to try it on someone's head, and I've not seen it done on a child before or any little girl. It's just been, adults, and I was wondering, is the hair too mature to try on a little child? But I just said, okay, let me just explore it and see how it goes. But then my fear was that, how will I pack the bun? I came online and I was searching. I saw different types of tutorials, but none was detailed. Some didn't even have sound. Like, some people need to understand that if you're doing a tutorial, sometimes it's not just so visual, especially when it's something complicated. You just see people do zam, they've twisted and turned it, and then they're showing the final product. But that's not what I want to see. I'm here to learn how this thing is done, and you're not giving me enough onions to work with. So I just said, you know what, let me start. I mean, it's hair. If it doesn't turn out well, we figure out a way around it. the worst case scenario I pack donuts, or worst case scenario again I plate the entire thing to the tip and put bead at the bottom, or would do it and put coils. I just had different strategies around it. At the end of the day, one was must work, but I really loved how the hair turned out. It didn't even give me as much headache as I thought it would give me for the wrapping part. So one video I know that I watched and it gave me a bit of comfort was one where they said the person divided the hair in four parts and then started twisting. Even though the way I did mine, it didn't look like how she did hers, because hers was like haphazard. She was just kept turning the hair extensions in different directions, but me, I just did one direction, and I'm like, okay, this looks good. And I think also at that point I was sort of tired, so I'm like, okay, this looks good, I can work with it, and then we move. But just hang around till we get to that point. There are many other interesting parts of the hair, so I hope you stay till that point and yeah, get a grasp of it. Okay, so you'll see me do different styles of these feeding braids. You would notice that at the back I did the one where you put in one part of the hair extension and then you plait and then you put in the other part. But in front here, you might have noticed that for some I'm just putting the entire two parts and plating them in at once. So that was really dependent on how the hair I was working with felt in my hands. So if I was working in an area where I felt like, oh, I had a lot of hair to start with, I could do the put in one, put in the second one. But if I was working in an area where I felt like, oh, I'm working with small amount of hair, I might want to put in the two at once. But really, there are even times when I would be working with small amount of hair and I'm doing one, but I would reduce the size. So another thing is that the size of the hair I was using at the back, because the hair at the back is really the same size from, she has a lot of back hair, it's really the same size from start to finish of the breadth of the hair. So I just used the same size of hair extensions, like I fed in the same size of hair extensions. But by the time I came to the front, I would take that normal size I was using at the back, I would take one and divide it into three parts. So I would start with those three parts, so it's like really tiny pieces, and then after that then I can now start filling in the regular sizes, because really remember that the idea is for it to look like there's nothing in the hair. So to give that illusion of a transition, I started small and then I went, continued with the regular size of hair. And now we're done with this part. We're about to go to the other part where we try to create a star. Okay, this is me trying to create a star. I saw this on Pinterest and I'm like, okay, let me do it. And at this point I had outlined my star, and now I'm just trying to use edge control, sorry, my braiding gel, the which one did I use now, the shine and jam braiding gel. I use that to separate the parts so that they don't merge together. If you watched my tutorial where I did a zigzag hairstyle on this same model, you'll see how important, you see that I emphasize how important it is to use a braiding gel to outline your parts so it doesn't merge together when you're doing something complicated like this. So that's the exact thing I'm doing here as well. I don't even know how to explain what I did here. I just know that I kept cutting this just to get this part, guys. I spent like up to 20, I'm sure I spent up to 20 minutes trying to figure this out. So I can't even explain to you guys how I cut it, but just watch me plait it. At the end of the day, when I was done plating this parts, it looked like a star, but by the time I now made the surrounding parts, like the area around the star, because of course I have to get rid of the additional hair, I was looking for my star, I couldn't find it. So if you even looked at the thumbnail, you might be wondering, oh, what did I do? You see, the star is not very obvious, but I don't tell you that, oh, there's a star there, you might not have seen the star. But anyway, it just looked like concussion, but yeah, it turned out nice. It's all part of the creativity, right? Yeah, that's why I said it's hair. If it doesn't work out this way, it will shall work out the other way. At the end of the day, it will shall be fine. That's it. It's wearable. We won't look crazy. That's the important part. So now we're almost done with this hairstyle. Ooh, I didn't think I was gonna talk this much, but I think this hair just had different emotions to it, and there's just different things to say at different points. But yeah, we're almost done with this, and then soon we'll go to the front and then we'll do our two strands. So the ones I've been seeing, every other style of this hair that I've seen, they kept doing one in front. But again, this is on this hair. I'm not doing this hair on an adult, so I needed something to make it look more fun and not less serious. So I considered using bead, but I just wasn't sure bead was going to give me. I just wasn't sure of the bead thingy. So I said, okay, let me do two strands in front and then twist. Guys, I created my own braiding rack, please. So that was just something I just thought of while making this hair, because I don't even know where the idea came from. I just know I did it and it turned out so nice, and I'm so glad. So if you have more pins, just put as much pins as you can in your dummy head, and you don't need a braiding rack, sorry. So that being said, we're on the last one and my model is already smiling at this point. For the two strands in front, I just did knotless braids. I fed in 3 times the same size of hair I was using at the back, and that was it. And for this front, I just stuck with black colored hair extension. So that was it, and I braided it to the bottom and we were done. So this is the point where I was, after I had tried out how this twist was going to look and it was looking good, so I'm like, okay, I can come and show you guys how I did it. I said earlier that I saw a video where the person divided into 4 parts and then started twisting, even though she didn't really film how she twisted hers. But I just said, okay, let me divide into 4 parts first and see how I can go from there. So I divided into 4 parts and then brought out one from the center of each part that I would use to create my spikes. So this is the one from here that I would use to create the spikes. So I plaited it to a point. So now I'm just going to be brushing out the hair and then twisting that out. After I was done twisting it, I twisted it to the tip, by the way. So after, and I didn't have to add any additional hair extension. Remember, again, I said I cut the hair extension in 3 places. So that's the length I'm working with here, and that length worked fine for me. So now we'll just start twisting and turning. So I cleared away the ones I braided to the single ones I braided to the tips, and then I just started twisting in this manner, and I did that round, all the way around, like it's super easy, all the way around. There are some more dramatic ones, to be honest, but this is how I was able to achieve mine. For starters, for an initial attempt, I think this would definitely work fine for me. This worked fine for me, and because this is a child that they can be a bit scattered, so I didn't want it to be too rough, so it would remain neat till when she's ready to take down the hair. So this is me just completing the hair, the hanging strands, to some point. So what I did, I've not tied them yet. The hanging strands, I didn't knot them at the tip yet because I wasn't sure where they were going to stop. So I just wrapped them round. When it got to, just wrapped them round randomly. Then when it gets to the point where I feel like, okay, I want my spikes to stay, I will keep them there. And at the end of the day, I sewed it. So that's the wrapping thing that is going on here. So I had all my spikes positioned where I want them to be, and then we started sewing. One thing I noticed with the sewing is that sewing through the twist wasn't gonna be as firm. So what I did, I was sewing through the strands I left out, because those ones were firmer, because plaiting in 3s is firmer than doing twists, big twists for that matter. So I typically just mostly sewed through the ones I made in 3s, and then sewed it to the braids so it won't move. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at this point. So be very careful so you don't poke your clients, please. Let's treat with caution. At this point, I'm just knotting it. All done with that, then I'll go into keeping my spikes in place. So to keep the spikes in place, I didn't show that here, but at this point I had figured out where I wanted the spikes to be placed. So I knotted them, like I knotted the strands so they don't continue loosening, and then I sewed the strands to the point of the braid where I wanted it to stick to. I hope that makes sense, please. I really hope that makes sense. So that way my spikes will move around to where I don't want them to go to. So you can see me sewing the strands to the braid. So that way it sticks to that point and it doesn't move from there. So we're done sewing now, and now I'm just gonna be trimming the excess length out. We're still gonna spread the spikes out so they will be fuller. So now I'm spreading them out so they'll be fuller, and then I sprayed it with a holding spray using my butterfly shadow. You can use got to be, you can use a gel, you can use anything that can make it hold, anything that can make it hard. And that was it, really. That was it. I went further to cut it from the front so it gives me that Chinese girly sort of thingy. And at this point I'm creating to create my curls, knotted this to the length I wanted it to get to, and then put in the coiling rods and twisted and turned, till we're done with that. And after that, just dipped it in hot water. And yeah, I tried pressing the braids with hot water, but this reaction I got, it wasn't good. So I'm like, nah. She was already crying, so I'm like, nah, okay, we'll do without that. So this is kept the rods in for a bit after I dried it, before taking them out. So I'm taking them out carefully so I don't lose my curls. Putting in some mousse, putting in mousse in the hair, putting in mousse in the braids, put some oil sheen, and that was it, guys. That was it. I finally done. No, I finally done. It was interesting making this hairstyle. It tasked me, but yeah, we're able to make it out alive. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please don't leave without subscribing. Leave us a thumbs up, comments, whatever questions you have, and I'll be sure to respond. Till next time, toodles. Bye, and compliments of the season again. See you next time.